with the time transform option, we have more freedom to change our animation and animate them using field and effector. If I just uncheck here the geometry only, we can see we have a complex animation being driven by the bend modifier, and it's being played with here a plane effector and some field. So it's different from the time offset, as you will see. Okay, so let's switch to our file, which is our field time transform. So this is our file, and you can see we have some object, cube, being animated with a bend modifier on the strength and angle. If we play, we can see it looks like that, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to hit NB to see our segment. We will see better. Now let's take a look here in our cloner to the transform tab, and we can see here we have a timer. So we could just offset the time. If I just type in 25, it's going to offset everything by 25 frames. So it's not going to start until the 25 frames, and then it's going to stop. It works the other way, of course. So if I put it at minus 25, you can see it starts straight ahead, and then it's going to bend. So just to remind you, if you hit Shift F3, you will see your timeline, and we can see our animation here. H to frame everything. So this is like it's playing starting on the middle, and the other way here. Starting also from the middle. If we go back to 0, we have the original animation. Then we have some mode. We can change from play to loop. So loop is just going to loop the animation. So you see, once you have the 50 frames, it's going to switch back to 0 and play again. So if you wanted to have a real loop, one easy way would be to go to Shift F3. I'm going to twirl open here our curve to see what's going on. And now I'm going to drag the end keyframe to 25. Going to take the starting keyframe, Control or Command Mac, and I'm going to duplicate here to 50. Now this is a loop. Let's see what happens if I hit play. You can see this is a perfect loop, which is going to play all the time perfectly. And this is thanks to our loop mode. Okay, let's go back to Shift F3, and we will just undo, undo, undo until we're back to 50 frames. Then we have some mode here, which are the fixed and the fixed loop. So fixed is just going to fix your animation to the first frame. And now it's going to be controlled here through the timer. So if I just increase up my time, you can see I'm scrolling through the animation. But if I play the animation, nothing's going to happen because the time has been fixed. Okay, so the idea here is to put it to 0. Then you're going to add an effector. Let's try the plane effector. We don't want to do anything with the position. And then here we're going to control the time offset. So the time offset we have seen in the last video. Now it's going to work with our time transform set to fixed. And we remember that the animation is lasting 50 frames. So we're going to add the time offset to 50 frames. Okay, so bear with me. Now if we just start the animation, still nothing. We need now to use a fall off. So I go to the fall off tab, and let's try a spherical field. Okay, let's increase the spherical field. And now you can understand what's going on. The spherical field is just going to control the timing of the animation. So if I just move now my spherical field, you can see the animation is playing through. So from one way to the other. This is one very powerful way to control animation, because you don't need to use any of those parameters. Everything is going to be controlled through your modifier, your parameter, and so on. You can create some very intricate animation, a very complicated design this way. The last mode in the time transform here is the fixed loop. So the fixed loop is just going to play to behave like the fixed, but then it's going to loop. So depending on your effector and depending on your animation and your field, you will have some different results. Here, the fixed loop with the spherical fill will just yield a very weird result. As you can see here, it's just going to snap. If we decrease here in the remapping the inner offset, it's going to work back as expected. This is a difficult concept to explain here and to show, so you will see that later, or I just suggest you discover that by yourself. Know that very often we just play with the play mode or the fixed mode, and the fixed loop is just for very advanced stuff.